I'm Stig Asmussen. I'm game director of God of War 3. I work for Sony Santa Monica Studios. Well, I was a true child of the video game generation. I had all the systems when I was growing up. They opened up this whole world and this adventure. That's when it went from being something that was just fun and passing time to a passion, almost an addiction. I bought the PlayStation 1 and there was this game that I got called Resident Evil. That was the one that I thought did a fantastic job of combining the adventure and the gameplay and the feel of those older games, but also bringing this kind of film aspect to it. And film was always one of my other passions. Watching, the old horror movies by George Romero and Sam Raimi. Loved watching movies, loved playing games. That Resident Evil had it all. And I ended up finding out that there was this college that I could go to and actually learn how to make games. 2 weeks later, I was enrolled. 2 months later, I was moving out to Pittsburgh and making my dream come true. So I graduated from school pretty high in the class, not the tops, but pretty high. I made a demo reel, sent out my resumes, and I was contacted by Sony to work on a game called God of War. And I came down and looked at it and fell in love with it. It was that passion from when I was a kid playing a game like Zelda or Castlevania or Metroid. It was there again because this game had all that. And I started working here and learning a lot. The crew here was incredibly talented. That's one of the things that really drew me to Sony. It seemed like the people here were operating on a different level, and I had to relearn everything again, and it made me better. And we finished up God of War 1. We were really proud of the game. Right around the end of that, my boss asked me if I wanted to become the art director on God of War 2. And so I took all the kind of skills and knowledge that I had from the environment art background and worked on trying to become a good leader as art director. That was a great experience for me. We finished God of War 2. A lot of people said it was the best looking game ever made on the PlayStation 2, and I was at the helm at the art department for that. So it was a big moment for me and I think for this studio as well. So then the PlayStation 3 came along, and so did God of War 3, and we continued working. We had to revamp things at that point. PlayStation 3 was this new beast. And all the ways that we had done things in the past with art got thrown out the window. And we had to, once again, relearn, retool. That was tough. We had to get everybody in the studio in lockstep. We had a very ambitious project in front of us. We were going to be building this game that was, a big portion of it took place on these titans, these giant characters. Once again, I was brought up to my boss's office and asked if I wanted to go from art director to game director. I was a little concerned about it at the time because I felt like finally I was kind of in this groove as an art director, and I was very comfortable. And did I really want to, challenge myself again? Of course I did. I took on the job, and here we are, and God of War 3 is almost done, and I'm very proud of the game. So the role of the game director is to kind of hold the creative vision of the game. Curiosity is incredibly important because it's the main ingredient of creativity. You always have to be creative in this job. All the creative elements of the game, the keys to what the game feels like, that's the responsibility of the game director. The game director, in order to keep the game together, has to have this passion for the game. He understands it fully. He thinks about it all the time. He lives it, breathes it. And everybody else on the team needs to believe in that. If you had to classify me for this team, I would say more of the quarterback. We have a lot of people on this team that have talent and creative ideas, and my job as the quarterback is to get the team together and recognize the talent and call the plays and lead us to the goal line. Well, things really started to change in terms of making games for me when I started working at Sony. The thing that really surprised me when I got here is that there wasn't this kind of level of management coming in and kind of overseeing the project. We're the game designers, we're the game developers, and we know what we're doing. And it seemed clear that Sony was going to support that. The other thing Sony does that's great is that we're first party and we get the technology. PlayStation 3 is fantastic technology. And I think that we have a better understanding of it than a lot of people just because we're part of the company. It's a tough beast to understand this machine, but we have this network that we can kind of go around and talk to other studios that are dealing with the people that actually develop the hardware. And it's going to leverage us to do things that we couldn't do otherwise and really make the machine sing and make our ideas and our passions kind of come out on the screen. We've got the technology, we've got an incredible amount of talent. So what that translates into is us being able to do what we do well and kind of making our dreams come true. Doing the things that we saw when we were kids, this kind of no-limit approach to making a film or making a game, and doing that on our piece of art. Making these games is an extreme passion for us. In a lot of ways, it's our dream, and this company allowed us to do that. They believed in us, and we're going to allow us to make the things that we wanted to happen.